How to make an atlatl. This is a 6th grade production, Saratoga Middle School, Saratoga, Wyoming, 1981. Brian and Brett, Chesbro's dad, brought in some lodgepole pine for the shafts. Lodgepole is the raw materials that Paleo-Indians used.
For the atlatl themselves, members of the class gathered limbs of alder, alpine cottonwood, willow, and chokecherry from creek banks and from along the Platte.
The alder is the lightest wood, isn't it?
Yes, but the chokecherry is a much harder wood.
Even though we weren't going to need them for several weeks, we started our project by peeling and rasping the lodgepole shafts, which would become our spears. The lodgepoles from a stand of dog-hair timber were already well cured.
Before we started actual construction, we did research and studied all the basic designs we could find.
This is the basic pistol grip model. And this is the Chinook model. This is an Arctic Hunter Model 3. This is the Magdalenian, and it's has a hand-carved horse, and it's one of our most fanciest and oldest animals. This is the Randall model, and it has, as you notice, it has a V-shaped end. This is the Hilo model, which could take a 1x4 or a red piece of wood. This is the Arctic Hunter Model 2, which is a very different kind of one because it has finger pegs and 3 holes for your fingers. This is the Arctic Hunter Model 4, which also could take a wide piece of wood or a 1x4. This is the Aztec Ceremonial Model, and it has relief carving on the back of it, and it would take a lot of time. And you notice that the word atlatl is an Aztec word. This is the Australian side notch stem model. It takes a very long piece of wood, the notch is on the side, and it has an optional wrist loop. It is still used today by the Australians. Okay, those are all the models that we have found. Are there any questions?
We searched our library for designs and ideas. By the time we started, we had well over a dozen. Mr. Laird chipped tools of agate for working the sinew and for woodworking tools. When chipping flint, you must wear eyeglasses, eye protection. After picking out our favorite designs, everyone went to work on carving their atlatls. We used stone tools. Some of the times we cheated and used steel knives and rasps, but we didn't use any power tools.
Next, those who had chosen designs which required an antler nub sawed and fitted their nubs to the atlatl. antlers came from several parents.
Kurt, could you explain to me what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm making a groove for the sinew with this rock knife.
Could you just show us how the antler nub fits in?
Yeah, sure. Now here comes the tasty part, chewing the sinew. What does that taste like, John?
It's okay, but it's not the greatest thing in the world.
Chun is now fastening on an antler nub with some wet sinew. As the sinew dries, it shrinks and becomes hard and very, very tough. These are only two of many, many designs of atlatls. Some of the models required finger grips. The first step was to trace the pattern of your fingers on the handle of your model.
What technology do you think works better, the steel or the stone?
I think the steel works better for the finger grips.
Why are you wearing that glove?
Because when I was working before, I hurt my finger, and if I don't wear the glove, it hurts a lot.
Where'd you get all this sinew?
Pat Bowers of Casper donated our supply of sinew. The first job we completed was scraping the sinew. We found that our stone tools worked even better than steel. We processed all the sinew from one elk and one moose. When we had finished scraping all the sinew, we set it aside until the time we would need it. Some designs didn't require a nub.
Troy, your atlatl doesn't require an antler nub, does it? No, the hole works just as well as throwing a spear.
While most of our atlatls were big game hunting weapons, there were some exceptions.
What do you call that model?
Oh, this? This is a small game model. I call it the Arctic Skeeter Hunter. It's useful for housefly hunting.
But be careful.
Oh, it's harmless. Well, I guess it is kind of dangerous.
Some of the kids carved neat-looking animals on their atlatls, just as the ancient Magdalenians did.
Paula, where did you get the idea for the bear?
From the Magdalenian model. And the wood sort of had the shape of a bear's face in it.
Mike, where did you get the idea for yours?
I don't know, it just kind of the shape of the wood.
There was a nub here and I made the nose and just dug eyes in it.
Looks kind of like a panda bear.
Guess it could be a panda bear.
Your atlatl is coming on good, isn't it?
Yeah. Did you just start your nub?
Yeah.
Did you, Mike? Start your nub?
It's sort of hard to do it with a lap tool, isn't it?
Just think how hard it was for the Indians.
Yeah.
Mark carved a ceremonial face on his atlatl. Here he is using a stone knife to put the finishing touches on.
lodgepole, chokecherry, and cottonwood. The ones about this size is fit into the spear, and the ones like this size fit over the spear like an example piece. I got about a dozen of these here. You guys want some?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take that.
This one?
Yeah, that would be okay.
Okay. What size do for yours? This?
Yeah, sure, that would be perfect.
Making the foreshaft proved to be one of the easiest jobs. But it had to be fitted right.
Are you sure that's gonna fit?
Yeah, sure, man, it's gonna fit. I'll show you. Oh no, I took too much out.
This is how it should fit.
Some models had buckskin handles. Here, Jung is sewing one for Stacy.
Now Mike's atlatl is ready to set the antler nub. We don't have the hatchets today, Travis. Try this stone chopper to knock the nubs off your shaft.
Wow, that works better than the hatchet.
Fitting the points to the foreshafts was one of the final steps. Making the points was one step in the technology that we couldn't do. Flat napping is a highly specialized art. Garrett Allen made our points for us. Real Paleo Indians would have used the same tools that we did to make our stone knives. Mr. Allen is one of the few people in Wyoming who have mastered the ancient art of flint knapping. He made our points out of glass.
Meanwhile, Glenn and Mike were fitting the nubs in their atlatls.
How's the sinew taste, Mike?
Oh, it tastes kind of like jerky.
What do you think, Glenn?
There isn't really much taste to it.
John, will you come here and draw around my arrow for me?
Sure.
The making of foreshafts was easy. We found that it was fairly difficult to get them to fit right and to make the points fit snugly in them. The work called for close tolerances and careful craftsmanship. At this stage, we chewed lots of sinew. In this scene, Glenn is attaching the point to his foreshaft with well-chewed sinew.
Is that fun?
Does this look even?
Because our stone and glass points would break too easily during practice, we made practice tips of plain wood. These wooden points, we hoped, would enable us to practice enough to become accurate. In this scene, you see Keith fitting his foreshaft to his spear, a very exacting job.
Needs a little more, doesn't it?
Putting beeswax or pine pitch on the sinew was one of the final steps. These natural materials waterproofed the sinew and were probably used by ancient man.
Well, I bet the Paleo Indians wish they had disposable lighters for this job. Hey, Lisa, how's the duck coming along?
Oh, pretty good.
How's the bear coming along, Paula?
It's okay. Right now I'm fitting the eyes in, making eyes.
Now Steve is drilling a hole for his antler nose. We found that steel bits work a lot better than stone drills. Here Tanya is sketching a panther face on her atlatl. When the sketch looks right, she'll begin her carving.
We used turkey feathers for the fletching. Heavier spears don't really need fletching, but some of the lighter models tend to sail off course unless they have feathers to keep them going straight.
We fasten the fletching on with our ever-faithful Stone Age glue, elk and moose sinew.
We put wristbands on many models to prevent the atlatls from flying out of our hands when we shoot.
What happens when you cut toward your leg?
This.
This.
Hey, Brent, are you done with your face yet?
Yeah.
What is it?
A snake.
Because of the fragile fangs, Brent decided to use this model for display only, but it worked just fine. It was one of the first ones completed. As the Wyoming winter turned to spring, we worked outside a lot, soaking up the welcome sunshine. By early in April, most of us were finished with our Stone Age version of 30-06. Here are some of the finished weapons. That about wraps it up. If you want to make an atlatl, whether to use or just to display on your wall at home, we hope this program has shown you how. Really, all you need is a pocket knife and a place to whittle. We have found these other tools to be helpful too. Grasp, carving knives, and drill. But remember, the Paleo Indians used tools of flint and antler and bone. Watch for our next program on how to shoot an atlatl.
This has been a 6th grade production. Class of 87, we hope. How to shoot an atlatl. A Saratoga Middle School 6th grade production, 1982. In the last program, you learned how to make the ancient big game weapon, the atlatl. Today you will find out how to shoot the atlatl.
It is our hope that after watching this program, you'll not only know how to shoot the atlatl, but have an understanding of how the Paleo Indians and other hunters long ago were able to bag such big game animals as the woolly mammoth and other such large mammals like the camel, longhorn bison, and others of the Ice Age. As you know, there are countless designs of atlatls made of many different materials.
Some used a forked branch or a deer antler to hold the spear. And in some models, the shooter must steady the spear with his finger and thumb. It is essential that the butt of the spear be well fitted to the nub. Or to the hole in the end of the atlatl. There are limitless designs for the connecting systems.
The required motion for using an atlatl is very much like throwing a baseball overhand.
A sidearm throw tends not to work well at all.
And as you see here, it is helpful to step forward or shift your weight from one leg to the other as you throw.
The reason most designs call for a wrist thong is so that you won't let go accidentally and ruin your atlatl when pitching hard.
Some atlatls, such as this basket maker model, have finger thongs which serve the same purpose. In this model, your fingers also hold the spear steady.
Now, before we get into some actual demonstrations, here are close-ups of some of the models you'll be seeing. This is a ceremonial model, not intended for use.
This is made out of pine, and it's covered with pheasant and pigeon feathers. It's got an antler nub, and it's just, I sinewed on all the pheasant feathers from the bottom up, and they're just layered over each other with sinew. I didn't beeswax the sinew because of the feathers were in the way. This foreshaft is made out of willow. I sinewed it and beeswaxed the point in. The point was made from glass, and I kind of cheated and used enamel paint for the feathers and stuff.
Now, here are some of the 1982 Atlatl contestants in action to show you their championship form. These are world-class Atlatl shooters. Let's watch.
Wow! Good shot.
All right.
Katie.
Come on, Jeff. Ooh. This time.
on, Kate. Come on, Nick.
Oh, nice block. Nice.
Ooh.
Just come on.
Oh, close.
Come on, Brian.
Oh, Brian.
Oh, almost.
Ooh.
Come on, Jeff.
Good.
Alright. Come on, Katie. Let go of it. Okay.
That was better.
Let's go, Christensen. Please. Come on, Nick.
Come on, Nick. Ooh.
Come on, Jeff. Here's Scott.
Come on, Scott.
Shoot away.
You can get it.
Oh.
Come on, Brian.
Let's get another hit. Keep this
Ooh,
one.
that was a good one.
Come on, Jeff. You're the only one that said it, bud.
Oh, darn.
Come on, Katie.
Come on, Katie.
Get back further.
That's better.
Ooh, that was a lot better.
She doesn't have to hold it here. No, it's fine to be my lunch. I'm so I don't care when I am.
Last chance, Scott. Put it in there.
Come on, Scott.
Ooh, that was close. Come on, Brian.
Show us
Come
your
on,
form
Brian.
from the turning. That's
All right.
He's so good. Come on, Nick.
Come on, Nick.
There you go.
Whoa.
Good, go. Come on, Katie. That was better.
Nice doing
Come on, Jeff.
Katie.
Let's go, Jeff. You can get it.
Oh.
As you can see, shooting an atlatl is a lot of fun. Maybe it'll be the sport of the future. But in any case, we know it was the bread and butter of the distant past.
Produced in 1982 by the class of '88.
Sinew, the Ice Age glue. Produced by the class of 1990 in the year 1983.
This is a piece of backstrap sinew from an elk. It was extremely valuable for the ancient people. Let's take a look at how it was obtained and processed.
The backstrap is the strip of meat along the backbone of any big game animal. The best sinew is on the backstrap. When you cut it out of the meat, it looks like this. Notice the purplish fibers. This is the stuff that sticks in your teeth when you eat a steak. This is a stone scraper used to process the sinew. The scraper was made with stone and antler tools.
Here's how to scrape the meat scraps off the sinew. If you leave the meat on, you'll get half and half. Half jerky and half sinew. Is this deer or elk? Elk. My scraper's getting kind of dull.
Go sharpen it.
I'll use this last side, and then I will. This isn't coming off the best, is it? No. Hannah, how are you doing?
Oh, okay. How is your end coming, Jody?
Pretty good. There's a lot of meat on it, though. How do you tell the difference between the deer and the elk? I don't know. I guess by the size.
The next step is to put the sinew strips on the rack to dry.
I think this one's ready. Yeah, so do I. How's this look? Looks good.
This model is the Little Dandy, invented by Danny Batdorf. Ancient people probably dried their sinew in the sun, but we have found it dries very nicely on our rack indoors. Once dried, the sinew will keep indefinitely, and like jerky, will not spoil.
Watch for our next program on how to use sinew, the Ice Age glue.
This has been a 6th grade production, 1983, Saratoga Middle School.